Today's video is brought to you by Magic Candle Company. Go to magiccandlecompany.com, use coupon code WorldOfJohnny and save yourself 10% off. Magic Candle Company, the fandom of smells. I'm Johnny Fandom. I talk about all things fandom. Today we are going back to, well, not going back, but it's been a while since I've talked about Harry Potter. So whip out your wands, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, just take that Avada right into the like button, into the subscribe button, and destroy them. Because we're talking about George Weasley. After the death of his brother, because George will never be the same. Maybe get a little googlier. Who knows? Let's dive right in and check it out. So this is not an original theory. I don't know where the original theory came from because so many people posted this, so I don't have a source of where it came from. But this theory indicates that George becomes Willy Wonka after the death of his brother. So let's dive right into it and check it out. Obviously, Fred and George have Weasley Wizard Whizzes, and they sell a bunch of candy, jokes, magic tricks for muggles, everything. And we know from the actual story that when Fred passes away, George will never be the same. We know that Ron basically takes over Fred's position and works with his brother George into the shop in the future. We learned this from the epilogue in Deathly Hallows. However, what if that's not fully the case? What if George just can't cope after all these years? Ron may take over and keep Weasley Wizard Whizzes, but George wants to do something else. So George is going to move out to the Muggle world and open up a chocolate factory. He's going to use house elves to create his chocolate and send his candy and chocolate out to the Muggles. But he's going to use the same candy that he's already been creating. The canary creams, the tongue toffee. He's even going to create gobstoppers and all this other stuff. The candy that we get from, Charlie the Chocolate Factory or the Willy Wonka movies is very George Weasley-esque. Violet eats the candy and turns into a giant plum. It's very much something that George would create. So George opened up this factory and has house elves dressed up like Oompa Loompas and basically works the factory so he can hide the fact. And he comes up with this crazy story about where the Oompa Loompas came from to hide the fact that they are house elves. So he hides the fact that he's a wizard by doing all this other stuff. And he changed his name to Willy Wonka. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Willy Wonka and George are very much alike. Definitely same characteristic. Us stupid muggles would never put two and two together. If we saw this chocolate factory, this crazy candy coming out where you had this toffee you give to your friends as a joke, and the tongue toffee comes out, and we would think it was funny. We wouldn't think there must be wizards here. Us muggles would just move on and think it's some kind of cool, zany trick that somehow this brilliant dude made into candy. So we would never think of the wizarding world unless some author writes a book about it, and now we think that about it all the time. And the wizarding world is free, and I never got my damn letter. I understand I never got my Hogwarts letter because I don't live in Europe, but I never got my ceremony letter. Nothing. I could have went to the U.S. school. To be fair, I know a lot of the records were destroyed at the Battle of the Ministry, so I get it. I can never go to Hogwarts. And I think George easily could get the Oompa Loompa house elves to help him out because, you forget, his sister-in-law, Hermione Granger, works in the law enforcement office in the Ministry of Magic, and eventually becomes Ministry of Magic herself, I believe. Definitely could help her out and get him a few house elves that he would compensate fairly, and she would be happy about it because they wouldn't be, just overly obsessed with work. It just makes sense. You have the crazy outfits that Willy Wonka wears. It looks very much like the front of Wheezy Wizard Wheezes. The top hat that. Very similar. So you could easily see George putting on a suit and a top hat and becoming Willy Wonka. Now, obviously, this is just a theory, but the similarities are there. You could definitely see, it being the case. Obviously, it's not true because it's two separate things. Unless J.K. Rowling actually based it off that, who knows? But yeah, either way, let me know your thoughts. Comment down below your thoughts on George Weasley becoming Willy Wonka. Do you think George needed something to help with his brother's death, so he decided to open up a chocolate factory, bring his tongue toffees to the Muggle world without any realization? And Oompa Loompas are house elves? Let me know your thoughts down below. And while you're down to hit that button, hit that subscribe button, and check out merch store. We get cool shirts like this. And also, hit that join button. It means so much to me to support. And if you support me, I can produce more videos such like this. And you can also get access to future videos before everybody else. Access to videos that only you can watch. And if you sign up for a certain tier, I'll give you a free shirt. And you can also sign up for the t-shirt club, which basically allows you to get a free new design that no one else can get once a month. So right down there, hit that join button. Thank you so much for the support. I'll see you guys next time. Before you go, make sure you check out that video up there and that video back there. And I'll see you guys next one. Oh, it's so good. Oh. Gotta love caffeinated apple juice in the morning.